Welcome to the deep dive. Everyone hears that old saying, fish bait best at sunrise. But today we're kind of putting that to the test, right? We want to get past the anecdotes, the campfire stories, and really dig into the science. What actually makes a fish want to feed? We're talking biology, environment, the whole picture.
Exactly. The goal here is, well, to give you a bit of a shortcut. Because success, real consistent success, it's about lining up your effort with when fish are biologically programmed to be active. And there's a clear hierarchy. The sources we looked at point to one factor, just one, that basically holds, let's call it veto power. It can shut everything else down.
Veto power. Okay, I'm intrigued. Which factor is that? And maybe more importantly, why? Like, what's happening inside the fish? Why does, say, a trout or a snapper care so much?
There'd be barometric pressure. It's the big one. And the why is fascinating. It's their swim bladder, that little gas organ they use to stay level in the water. When the outside pressure changes fast, they have to adjust the gas inside that bladder. And, well, it's stressful for them, uncomfortable.
Okay. So it physically affects them. Makes sense. Let's dig into that veto power then. What kind of pressure change are we looking for? What's the ideal?
Well, here's the really interesting part. It's not about the absolute number, like whether it's high or low pressure overall. It's the trend. The sources are clear. The absolute best time, the time you get those feeding frenzies, is during a rapidly falling barometer.
Rapidly falling? Why falling?
It seems to signal that unstable weather is coming, like a storm is brewing.
Yeah.
So the fish basically panic feed. They think, okay, better eat now while I can before things get rough and I have to hunker down. It's a limited window to gorge.
Right, a gorging frenzy. I like that. So practically speaking, if I'm looking at my barometer app or watch, what numbers signal go time?
Look for a drop faster than, say, 0.18 inches of mercury over about 3 hours. That's a strong signal, especially if it's dipping below maybe 29.80 inches. That's often your A-tier top-level trigger.
Okay, 0.18 over 3 hours, heading below 29.80. Got it. And the opposite, what's the kill switch you mentioned?
That's the rapidly rising barometer. Usually after front passes, the bite just dies.
Yeah.
It's like it can be a beautiful sunny day, the tide looks perfect, but nothing. That's often that rising pressure just shutting things down. It's like the fish have a collective headache, basically.
That explains so many frustrating days. Okay, so pressure is priority 1, the veto. Assuming the pressure is right, or at least stable, what's priority 2?
Priority 2 is all about flow, hydrodynamic flow. It's about where the feeding fish will likely concentrate. In saltwater, the absolute rule is you need moving water. A moving tide, slack tide, when the water stops moving between high and low. Much less productive. The bait just isn't concentrated.
Right, moving water is key. And the consensus seems to favor the falling tide, the ebb tide, yeah. Why is that generally better?
Yeah, the falling tide often gets the nod because as the water level drops, it pulls bait, think shrimp, crabs out from the marshes, out from cover. It flushes them out and funnels them through predictable spots like channels or points. And the predators, they just sit there waiting. Easy meal, minimum effort.
Okay, like a conveyor belt of snacks makes sense. How does this flow idea translate to freshwater, rivers, streams?
The same core principle. Concentration via flow. Fish want to save energy. So in rivers, they hang out along current breaks, places where they can sit out of the main flow but still watch for food drifting by. Think behind a big rock or in an eddy, beside a fallen tree, under a bridge piling, that slow water next to fast water.
That perfect cushion, yeah. Zero energy, maximum food delivery.
All right, so we have the veto pressure and the concentration flow. What refines this? What takes a good window and makes it great? Light. Season.
Exactly. Those are refinement factors. Light levels definitely matter. Dawn and dusk, classic low light periods give fish a tactical advantage. They feel safer moving out from cover to hunt. Overcast days are great for the same reason, diffused light.
But it's not always about dawn and dusk, is it? You mentioned seasons, right, because metabolism plays a huge role. And that brings us to the winter inversion. In really cold water, fish are sluggish. Their metabolism is way down, especially first thing in the morning after a cold night. So that early bite, it's often poor in winter. The best activity actually shifts later. Think mid-morning to late afternoon once the sun's had a chance to warm up the shallows a bit, get their engines running, metabolically speaking.
So the cold overrides the low light preference sometimes. Interesting. Okay. Pressure, flow, light, metabolism. Where do those lunar charts fit in? The ones based on the moon and sun.
Good question. Think of lunar major and minor periods as like a tertiary factor,
Mhm.
a fine-tuning mechanism. It's definitely not going to make fish bite if the pressure is awful or the water is dense slack. It doesn't override the big stuff.
Yeah.
But if you've already got good pressure, good water movement, timing your trip to hit a major or minor period could give you that extra edge. Maximize the potential. It's a refinement.
So not the foundation, but maybe the cherry on top if everything else aligns. Let's synthesize this for everyone listening. What's the absolute A-tier scenario, putting it all together?
Your perfect day, according to this hierarchy, is, number 1, a rapidly falling barometer. Number 2, that lines up with strong moving water, a good falling tide, or finding those solid current breaks. And number 3, you execute this during a prime time based on light and season, maybe dawn or dusk in warmer months, or midday during that winter inversion.
Pressure falling, water moving, timed right for light and season. That's the trifecta. It provides a solid framework, a scientific edge.
It absolutely does. It helps you maximize your time and effort, put the odds in your favor. But we have to add a final thought, a dose of reality. Big fish, trophy fish, they get caught at all hours under all sorts of conditions. Sometimes they just don't follow the rules. So the science gives you the high percentage plays, but persistence, time on the water, flexibility, that's still crucial.
Right. The framework helps, but nothing beats actually having your line in the water. Maybe the final question isn't just, why aren't they biting? Maybe it's, okay, what rule are they breaking right now and how can I adapt? Being observant and flexible out there is key.